can't tell me nothing. That's why when they be talking tough, I said, man, just say it. I done seen all that. Nigga said he want to just go home.
Oh,
and
shit.
his blanket. He's like, what?
What are you there for security?
You're never gonna be in this position.
I just want to go home and
I just want to be under my blanket. Oh, we gotta get out of here. God, you get me out of here. I'm never fooling with these things.
Things in hip-hop just flipped upside down, and fans are losing their minds. Gene Deal, yeah, that Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard from the Wild Bad Boy Records days, just dropped a message that has the entire culture on high alert. And this time, he didn't come for the industry at large. He came straight for Maze and Cameron. The Harlem icon behind the viral talk show is what it has just found themselves in Gene's crosshairs, and it's not looking like jokes anymore. See, this was their average go live and vent type of post. Nah, this felt like a warning. The kind of message that comes right before something serious pops off. Fans online are saying they've never seen Gene talk like this. Not with this tone, not with this energy. It wasn't anger, it was controlled fire. The kind of heat that makes you sit up and listen to IT All-Star.
These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos.
I just want to go home. I just want to be home.
Mace, say names.
You're security crime behind the car.
People look at me as being bad boy security.
Yeah, this blanket. You're like, what?
Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third.
What are you there for security?
What you think I'm gonna be doing when you doing all that to Gene Deal? I bet you really don't want to know.
When a clip from it is what has started trending. In the video, Maze and Cam were clowning around about the old school rap scene, cracking jokes about Bad Boy Records, tossing around names like Diddy, Gene Deal, and everyone from that legendary, chaotic era. They laughed about shady contracts, whispered rumors, and how folks still too scared to even say Diddy's name. The audience ate it up. Everyone laughed. But behind that laughter, there was tension. Because for people who actually lived that history, who were in those rooms, who saw the real-life consequences of that world, it wasn't just entertainment. It was personal. And for Gene Deal, it hit a nerve so deep, you could practically feel the decades of silence breaking through his words. See, Gene Deal ain't just some random dude run his mouth online. Far from it. This man was there deep in the trenches, when some of hip-hop's darkest and most mysterious chapters were written. He's spoken on the Tupac and Biggie murder.
Trying to picture your facial reaction to I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
If my security holding me down in Cali, is somebody, the #1 rapper in the world, get killed, you're telling you, I just need to want to go home. And the second top artist in the world, which is Mace, about to be #1. That's what I'm saying. I wonder his face, because I'm like, if y'all let me do that to Big, I don't stand a chance.
Exposed Diddy's private world, and revealed the heavy price of fame that came with the Bad Boy empire. So when Maze and Cameron started clowning around about that history, Gene didn't take it lightly. You could feel how personal that hit him. Every word carried decades of pain and respect for the streets that raised him. A few nights later, Gene hopped on a live stream. His face was tight, eyes locked on the camera, voice cold and heavy, that kind of tone that makes you sit up straight. "Y'all think this a game," he said. Then he went off. He called out the content creators chasing clicks, saying folks were trying to turn street history into entertainment. But when Maze and Cameron threw shade toward Bad Boy security, it was like lighting a fuse.
Now the content creators who went out there and they started running off by their mouth, trying to make airways and trying to make a show. Here go a grown-ass man, Mace and Cameron, made suggestions to Bad Boy security. These clowns out here was gonna go out there and make videos. When you do stuff like that, you gotta know right now that people look at me as being Bad Boy security. You gotta be clear. As soon as that drop, you got 5 or 6 out there Oh, Gene Deal was crying for the blanket. Gene Deal was this, that, and the Gene Deal was this, that, and the third. You already know, Mace.
Say if you gonna say something, be man of motherfucking nothing. To name the name.
Gotcha.
When I tell a motherfucking story, Rex, I tell it with the name.
Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral. Everybody trying to go viral out here.
News. Gene said, "If you're going to talk about me, be a man about it. Say my name. I don't hide when I tell stories. I put names on it." You could tell this wasn't just a rant. It was a warning. And then came the line that sent chills through the internet. Everybody trying to go viral. Gene said, his voice steady and calm. "But the streets ain't forgotten nothing. Tell them boys to move careful. This industry eats people alive, especially ones who think they untouchable." Within hours, the internet exploded. Headlines popped up everywhere. Former Diddy bodyguard sends chilling message to Maze and Cameron. Fans didn't know if Gene was protecting them or threatening them, and that mystery made it 10 times scarier. He doubled down too. "What do you think I'm supposed to do while you talking about me?" Gene asked, almost whispering. "You really don't want to know." Then he dropped a bomb. "When Biggie went to that party, I told him somebody was going to die that night. And I was right." The whole chat froze. These weren't just stories. These were warnings wrapped in trauma. People started connecting dots, wondering if Gene was hinting at the ghosts of the Bad Boy era were back for revenge. And just when fans thought he'd calm down, Gene took it even deeper. "If you're going to say something, be a man about it," he snapped again. "Cameras don't save people. Ask the ones who ain't here no more." He reminded everyone that in the 90s, speaking the wrong words could get you erased. That's when things turned dark, not entertainment dark, real life dark. The tension online felt like a storm brewing. Every clip, every quote, every old interview suddenly mattered again. Fans started piecing everything together. The Biggie shooting, Maze's missing royalties, Diddy's contracts, and Gene's cryptic tone. Everyone was whispering, he knows something. And honestly, it felt true. Gene Deal's name carries weight. This is the same man who claims he witnessed what went down the night Biggie died, and he's hinted more than once that people still watch it because of what he knows. When he said, "The truth got bodies attached to it," the whole internet went silent. Even Maze and Cam started to feel the shift. At first, they laughed it off on their show. Cam joked, "Man, Gene acting like we in a mob movie." And Maze fired back, "If we gotta watch our backs for talking, we already famous then." The audience laughed, but online, nobody found it funny. The mood changed. Fans flooded the comments. "This ain't jokes no more. Gene's warning them for real." Then Gene came back again, this time angrier than ever. "You Harlem boys always playing," he said. "You think cameras gonna protect you? They don't protect nobody." He started reminiscing about how back in the day, people disappeared just for talking too much. He didn't say names, but he didn't need to. Everyone knew who he was talking about. And when he dropped one last gem, them Harlem boys need to chill before they end up in the same stories they're laughing about. It was game over. Every major blog, every hip-hop page, every fan discussion thread went into overdrive. Suddenly, what started as jokes between legends turned into a chilling reminder that in hip-hop, history never stays buried. Because when Gene Deal speaks, the whole culture listens. We from Harlem. We know what time it is. That line right there told everyone. This wasn't just YouTube gossip anymore. You could feel the tension building. It was no longer about jokes or clicks. It was real pressure between the ones who lived hip-hop's darkest chapters and the new voices who think it's just content. And Gene Deal? He wasn't backing down. He reminded everyone that he's been in this game since the Bad Boy era, when every move could mean life or death. Gene fired back, calm but cold. "Me and Maze had that conversation," he said. "He knew the truth. He knew I jumped in the car, chasing the shooter. He knew I was there." He accused Maze of diverting blame, saying Maze told Puff but never warned Biggie. "Why didn't you tell Big those dudes were coming for him?" Gene snapped. Then he looked straight into the camera and added, "Anybody who knows me knows I don't hesitate when it comes to protecting mine. I never guarded a man I wasn't willing to die for." That's when he dropped another bomb. "These new media dudes don't know what kind of doors they're opening. They laughing, but them jokes come with curses. That single quote tore through the internet like wildfire. Within hours, it was trending across blogs, podcasts, and hip-hop Twitter. Suddenly, this wasn't entertainment anymore. It was spooky. You could feel the shift. It didn't sound like Gene wanted beef. It sounded like he was warning them from experience. By this point, hip-hop media was in a frenzy. Every podcast was breaking it down frame by frame. Reaction channels ran wild. Even rappers jumped in the conversation. Some said Gene was being dramatic, while others swore he was telling the truth. One influencer's tweet summed it up perfectly. Gene Deal might sound paranoid, but history proves he ain't lying. That tweet went viral, because deep down, fans know hip-hop's got ghosts. From unsolved murders to silent cover-ups, people who talk too loud often ended up disappearing or going quiet. Gene's next video made it even more personal and haunting. He stared dead into camera and said, "Maze, you know I'm not lying. You was there. You saw what happened when certain people crossed that man." And the second he said that man, the entire internet froze. Everybody knew who he meant. Did he? Gene's voice cracked, just slightly, like he was reliving something too painful to revisit. That one moment flipped everything. This wasn't about internet beef anymore. It was about survival. Comments flooded in. He's not threatening them. He's warning them. History repeats itself if you don't move right. And for Maze, that hit even harder. Remember, he's been one of the loudest voices calling out Diddy's alleged shady dealing for years. He's talked about freeing artists from bad contracts, freeing their souls. Gene's response? One chilling line that echoed through every corner of the culture. The people who talk about freeing souls usually end up losing theirs. That quote broke the internet. It wasn't just words, it was pain. You could feel the trauma of a man who's seen too many people pay the ultimate price for speaking in the wrong room. Cam tried to laugh it off on the next episode of It Is What It Is. He said, "I love Gene, but I don't like when old heads make things spooky. We comedians with mics, not gangsters with guns." The audience laughed, but something was off. The smiles were tight. The pauses were long. Fans noticed. Even Maze, usually the loudest in the room, seemed quieter, like he was thinking twice before every joke. Social media went into full debate mode. Some said Gene was acting as an OG, warning the younger generation not to play with fire. Others believed he was a messenger, possibly speaking for someone powerful who didn't want their name mentioned. "This sounds like a warning straight from Diddy's camp," one user posted. Another replied, "Nah, Gene's protecting them before the game eats them up too." Either way, the energy was dark, and everyone could feel it. Because Gene Deal isn't a gossip blogger chasing clicks. He's a man who's seen blood spill behind the music. He was there when hip-hop's deepest secrets were written. Secrets that still haunt the game today. This wasn't clout chasing. This was real talk about legacy, power, and silence. Gene reminded everyone that behind every viral joke, there's a line you don't cross. And the people laughing today might be crying tomorrow on his own podcast. Gene made his stance crystal clear. They can laugh if they want, but I sleep good knowing I warned them. The same people they joke about still got pull. I don't want to see no young brothers become martyrs for clout. That line hit deep. Suddenly, it didn't feel like Gene was trying to scare them. It felt like he was trying to save them. But after that, things got even wilder. The internet turned into a full-blown investigation zone. Fans dug up old interviews, old stories, and missing names from the Bad Boy days. Clips resurfaced where Gene once said, "The things I've seen, I wish I could unsee." That line started trending again. Everyone was asking, what exactly did he see? And why is he speaking now? Even industry insiders began backing him up. One producer went live saying, "Gene ain't crazy. He's just seen too much." And the craziest part? Since Gene's last message, Maze and Cam went quiet. Maze stopped mentioning Diddy entirely. Cam still joked, but was careful. Almost like he didn't want to poke that bear again. Podcasters started calling Gene a whistleblower. Others said he protecting himself, dropping hints like a man who knows his time is ticking. Every clip, every quote got dissected like evidence from a crime scene. Even mainstream outlets, not just hip-hop pages, began covering it. The world was realizing how deep this rabbit hole really goes. At the center of it all stood Gene Deal, calm, confident, and unshaken. "I don't speak for clout," he said. "I speak for truth." That sentence echoed across social media. Because no matter which side you're on, one thing's clear. Something bigger is brewing. Maybe Gene's not trying to start a war. Maybe he's trying to stop one. He's seen too many people fall for saying the wrong thing to the wrong crowd. And right now, it feels like Maze and Cam are standing on that same dangerous edge. The fans are split. Half call Gene a truth teller. The other half say he's fear-mongering to stay relevant. But nobody can deny the effect. The It Is What It Is show doesn't feel the same anymore. The laughs come slower. The silence hits harder. And every time Maze and Cam mention the past, you can feel the room tightened. Everyone's asking the same question. Will Maze and Cam clap back again, or will they finally fall back and let the smoke clear? Because this ain't just about words anymore. It's about power. And when Gene Deal says, "Move careful," you better believe he means it. In hip-hop, one wrong word can echo forever. And so what do you think? Was Gene protecting them or putting them on notice? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories the industry doesn't want you to hear.